Mouseguard, The Tale of Thane and Ilsa. Story and art by David Petersen. All across the mouse territories, its residents struggle to prosper amongst harsh weather conditions and predators. A group of selfless, cloaked mice called the Mouseguard patrol the open country between cities and towns, allowing the common mice not just to survive, but thrive. It takes a mouse of great character to serve in this way, though they often come from humble beginnings. I don't like you keeping the company of the kind of mouse that patrons here in your mother's tavern, Sadie. Upper Port Sumac, Spring, 1140. Dawn. They like me, and I like their stories. You worry too much after me, Papa. Do you think I'll sail away and marry one of them? I should hope not. Why, perhaps I'll find one to love this very day. You laugh, daughter. But as you are not but 14 years, let me tell you about love, my dear, and the weight of that word, before you go tossing it about in jest. She was the most beautiful of mice. Her fur was the color of spun copper, and glistened and shone in a way that made all around her the richer just for looking. However, beauty was only a sliver of her sum. She was as talented with a hammer as she was with a ladle, and no mouse could match her ability with either, or at any trade in between. As any beast could attest, if they had lived to tell you, she was 3 times again as skilled with a bow or blade. At all things she was good. She was not short on suitors, for no mouse was more desired than she. So cleverly, she devised a test for finding a mouse worthy of her love, which surely was greater than the love that could be given by any other mouse. When her challenge began, the field of hopefuls occupied an entire meadow, and she asked them to match her in many, many tasks. At smithing swords, no weapon was finer than hers, and more than half of the participants walked away early, knowing their blades to be inferior. When cooking stew, none proved to be tastier than hers, and ashamed of their waste of ingredients and time, the herd of mice was greatly thinned again. At any skill named, the beauty would best the others. However, with her manners, she never boasted of her own good work, nor spoke badly of their failures. She would quickly announce the next event and move on to it. Even if a mouse had done extraordinarily well in one test, they'd become discouraged enough at the next and walk away with half a broken heart, for they knew no mouse could be as good at so many things as she. When the group of suitors was down to the size of a guard patrol or two, the lovely mouse declared the next task to be the final assessment. It involved climbing the tallest of rock faces, running through the upper limbs of dead elms before they broke away, daring to catch the antlers of an elk running into the wild country, navigating back into the territories, and swimming out to the Isle of Ven, where she would be waiting to give her heart to a single mouse. And while she climbed and ran and rode giant beasts and swam and waited, the mice became disenchanted and found her no longer a worthy prize for the trouble, effort, and danger involved. That is, all but 2 mice. One was humble and stout and skilled only in the building of boats. His sword was a tangle of iron. His stew was as foul as gull droppings. At all other of her tasks he was equally poor, but if he did anything better than boatcraft, it was loving the beautiful mouse from afar. The other that remained was boastful and greedy, with a habit of cheating to get what he felt he already deserved. While his performance thus far was better than that of the boat mouse, he spoke of his deeds as if they had almost matched and at times bested those of the beautiful mouse. He schemed to skip the planned route and head straight to the Isle of Ven and be waiting for her when she arrived. But when he found himself on the shores of the lake surrounding the isle, his heart soured at the swim alone. He too decided she was not worth the cost of a chance drowning, and left for home. The boat mouse did not do well at the remaining tasks, but he found ways to complete each leg of the route suggested. He tumbled off several elk, crashed through canopies of branches, and got lost on more than one occasion. After several days of hard work, he arrived at the very shore where the other mouse had quit. This mouse knew he had not the breath or strength to swim the distance, and he set to craft a boat to carry him across. On the Isle of Ven, he found her waiting, and she nodded at him lovingly. He cried and exclaimed, "I am here, but I should not be, for I did poorly and cannot match you in any deed." "Then why are you here?" she asked. "Because I love you," he said. And she replied, "Then your love is bigger than all the tasks. I can cook and smith and swim and climb and fight enough for the both of us, but it would be a poor union if I also had to do the loving for us both." "What happened to the beautiful mouse then, Papa?" "I married her, Sadie. I married her." The end.